Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Demonosophy and Beyond, and it's Greg Bryant, aka Zaracol Hakathos, and I'm here to talk to you about the entity that is known as Ahriman. Ahriman is basically the prototype for Satan, and he's found in Zoroastrianism, and he has a twin brother who is Ahura Mazda, which is supposed to be light and goodness, and he's supposed to be chaotic darkness. However, he was spawned from, according to the lore, a light being, and rejected because he was not of the light. So, right off the bat, I don't see his character as being one of evil, where the light rejected him just because he was different. The stuff that I've read has called him things like a liar, but let me see if I can find. I have a couple of notes that I took on when it came to my studies. So anyway, what I was saying is that when I was studying Ahriman, the book that I was reading from talked about how he made a deal with Ahura Mazda. I forgot what the deal was about, but it pointed out that when I think he lost the deal, he kept his word, and it pointed out that even though he was seen as a liar, apparently he did not lie. So, to describe him as a liar would be untrue. And as far as I'm concerned, he's never lied to me. So, where is this? Okay, so Ahriman is true to his word, thus proving he is not a liar or deceitful. And this is pointed out underneath Angra Mainyu, which is another name for Ahriman. It comes from the Encyclopedia of Religion, the second edition, which was printed in 2005, volume 1. And so it talks about that deal that he made and how he kept to his word. When it comes to let's see, he is also according to Man, Myth, and Magic, the Illustrated Encyclopedia of Mythology, Religion, and the Unknown, Volume 1, first printed in 1983. It talked about how Ahriman first appeared in the 7th century BC, and it described him as the creator of demons and the lord of death and destruction. And I wouldn't say that's necessarily accurate, because when it comes to dealing with Ahriman, he's a very lively individual. And the people who work with him, he wants them to be happy and to be lively. So he likes humor. He likes things that causes people to party. He likes seeing people party. He likes seeing people enjoy themselves. And he loves to enjoy himself. And that is very far from destruction, But at the same time, there exists a duality in every entity. It can create, it can destroy. And Ahriman is not, one-dimensional. It's not one-dimensional. So there's a lot that he can help you with. And destruction is not necessarily a negative thing, because you can apply destruction to negative aspects in your life that you want to get rid of. Whether it has to do with who you are, negative habits you want to get rid of, or if you want to get rid of things that are blocking you from growing in life. then you can apply destruction to that. Ahriman, when he first came to me, he came to me looking like a stereotypical devil. Red skin, horns, hoofed feet. And I asked him, I said, well, why would you come as a stereotypical devil? And he says, because I thought it would be amusing. And that's like the kind of humor he has. But he's also good for learning the art of lycanthropy and shape-shifting. I forgot what I was reading, but it mentioned that he's good at teaching either the wolf form or the dragon form. And it also said that he does come as a dragon. One of the interesting things about Ahriman is that he also has a 7-headed dragon that he is in charge of. And this 7-headed dragon is actually 7 archdemons that have the ability to help with different aspects of personality. And they can help attune you more to the left-handed path. You know, when they're described as having evil personality aspects. Like there's one who is described as being able to teach one of the evil mind and stuff like that. And it's not really. It's kind of like how to just filter all the BS within society and become a stronger person. And that's what they help you gain, to become a more balanced person. And how you apply that is really up to you. But you have to look at it from a standpoint of how it helps you in the big picture of things. And you can't think about it from the standpoint of regular human society. For example, if I go back to my notes. Okay, so the 7-headed dragon, which can be broken down into 7 archdemons. They are Ashma, Akoma, Nenghathia, Tarich, Savar, Andar, and Zarich. Okay, so what I wrote down here is some of the things that they can help you with, and a lot of people would take these as negative. Like Ashma, I wrote down can teach you wrath, rage, and fury, and people would take that as a negative thing. But when you get angry with something, it's because usually you feel wronged. Okay, and a lot of people don't want to deal with fighting. Like they don't want to butt heads with anything. But if you show your anger, and if it gives you what you need in order to have a backbone, it can be a positive. And when you show your wrath, your anger, and your fury, people who would usually mess with you are going to be less likely to do so out of fear. Or, you know, with bullies, they're not likely to mess with the people who are going to fight back. So, in a sense, that's not negative whatsoever, what that demon can teach you. With Ahriman, it said that he will teach you how to have an evil mind. And it's not an evil mind. The adversarial energies that are involved with Ahriman really teach you to just go against things that don't make any sense and that are unhealthy for you. And the thing about society is a lot of the things that we consider as the standard in society, the norm in society, are very toxic to our nature. And so because a lot of people are brainwashed and programmed to think that the toxic things are good for us. When somebody thinks differently, when somebody thinks the opposite and does the opposite, they're seen as strange and wrong and evil. And that simply isn't true. And Ahriman helps you think in a way that is more aligned with your nature. Nanghathia, I have this one listed as specializing in discontentment. This it can have a positive, because like if you're discontented, it can be a sign that you're not doing something that you're passionate about. It can be a motivation to actually do something that you actually care about and will help you grow. Let's see, Tarich, hunger, vampirism. Hunger can be applied in a sense where you can hunger for ambition. And ambition can be both a positive and negative thing, because it's about how you reach your ambitions. Do you step on everybody, or do you just go because you're motivated? So that has a positive application. Vampirism, I'm not sure if I really talked about it, but vampirism is a foundational thing when it comes to energy. When you create something, you take energy from something else and you destroy that, or you reassign the energy somewhere else, which leads to what humans see as the destruction of something else. But vampirism has a lot of positive applications because it can break up stagnation as well. So if you have a whole bunch of energy that's not doing anything, that can possibly be negative, then you can break that down and then you can reprogram it for something positive. Savar. I have Savar listed here as bringer of death, being able to teach leadership, enemy of the divine. Okay, so when it comes to the enemy of the divine, what is seen as the divine, right-handed, religion, we all by now know how toxic religion can be, and how toxic churches and pastors and stuff have been, and the problems they've caused within society. So being able to fight against that can have a positive application. And like I said, like the adversarial energies kind of bring a balance. They question things so that, it's like educate yourself and figure out whether something is good for you or not. And in society, a lot of people don't question things. They don't question religion, whether it's right or whether it makes any sense. They don't question government. They just let themselves be led and they let themselves suffer. So this archdemon right here teaches you to stand firm, because here in America, even though they preach freedom of religion and yada, 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 blah, 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 a lot of Americans have this elitist, toxic, judgmental Christian mindset. And a lot of people who did practice magic end up having such a hard time that they go back to Christianity. And, they fall back into that same toxic mindset. And so, there are spirits out there who help you to fight against that and stay firm and to be comfortable in your own skin, doing your own thing. Andar, also a demon of discontent and striving for goals. Okay, so this is another one that helps you with your ambitions. A lot of people, they're very lazy, very unmotivated. There's a lot of distractions out there. And so this spirit will help you achieve goals that, maybe you've been putting off. Maybe work has been keeping you from doing things, and you've been working towards somebody else's goals, but it's time for you to do things for yourself. Okay, so Andar is one of those demons that can help you do that. And then Zarich, I have is written down to help with conquering. And conquering isn't just about, going to a country, taking over, running, stuff, and, warring over people and winning that war. Conquering can be applied to things like conquering your fears, conquering things that have been getting in the way of you making positive growth. So that also has a positive application. And when you invoke the energies of these archdemons, personally, when I did so, I felt better. I woke up the next day and I felt a kind of like completeness, a solidness. And, when I deal with these spirits, whether it's Ahriman or whether it's his archdemons, I'd never feel anything negative. I feel happiness, I feel completeness, I feel ready to basically take on the world in a positive, standpoint. Like, I don't want to cause trouble or anything, but, should trouble arise, I feel ready for it. And Ahriman, to go back to Ahriman, he is associated with Az, which is his lover. Az has very close connections to Lilith. They are actually one and the same. And it is said that Ahriman went into a coma, and I forgot why. And all the demons were whispering in his ears to try to wake him up and get him to do things with them. And Az was the only one. And it talks about like how she supported him and all this other stuff. It's very interesting to go into. I've already explained a lot about Lilith, who she is, how she thinks, what she does. There's a lot more to her. Subtle things. But we're here to talk about Ahriman, and she does play a big part in his life as well as the lore. But I prefer to focus mainly on how his world and the other demons that I haven't covered that are associated with him have affected me in my practice. So, yeah. When it comes to Ahriman, he's really chill. The first time I just called upon him, I said, you know what, if you want to come. And he came. Then I started working with him on a ceremonial standpoint, and he makes the transition when it comes to lycanthropy fun, as well as easier. He's also the kind of person who will call you on your bullshit. If you are channeling his energies and somebody is talking and they're full of shit, he will call them out instantly. He will call you out on your bullshit instantly. So, like, not only is he not a liar, but he does not like liars whatsoever. And he will tell them about themselves right then and there. And I feel like that's also a negative thing. I mean, what the hell am I saying? I feel like that is not a negative thing. It's a very positive thing, because when you have somebody who is fake and who is trying to get one over on you, they don't like being called out. They don't like seeing what's wrong with them. And they're more likely to stay out of your life if, you're going to call them out on things that are wrong with them, and see the red flags. And so that kind of clears the negativity out of your life. You're only surrounded by positive people. And it's like every once in a while we do bullshit ourselves. And it's good to be called upon it because it forces us to analyze ourselves. So that is also a positive aspect about Ahriman. That's pretty much all I have to say about Ahriman so far. I like working with him. I plan on working with him on a deeper level. And yeah, it's just it's funny how, like, I've done the research, and I always tell people do your own research, but the research here, it puts you in a certain mentality about Ahriman, where it's talking about how, oh, he's the evil force in Zoroastrianism, he's the prototype for Satan, and you know, you can't take those things into account because there may be some truth in who they are, in that lore. But the information is always from one side. It's never about somebody else's side. And one of the biggest reasons why I take the time to go and have my own experiences with different spirit entities is because they also have their side. You have to get the whole picture. And when you find what's consistent in a story, in that you find the truth. But you need to know all sides. And when it comes to relationships with spirits, okay, they have their own relationships between each other, but they also have their own relationships between other individuals. So because of maybe clashing personalities, this spirit may not get along with another spirit. And so that spirit will be like, oh, that person's evil, Or you'll have a human being, a mage or a witch or whatever, and they may not get along with the spirit. So they'll call that spirit evil. But, I've dealt with a lot of spirits that were listed as evil, even in demonic grimoires that cast demons in a positive light, and I've had no trouble with them. So that's why I constantly encourage viewers to go and experiment themselves. Like, be careful, but at the same time, educate yourself, have your own experiences to draw from, because the sources that you draw from may not be accurate. And they may be influenced by other forces that want you to think a certain way, that want to control the way that you think. And that's all I have to say about that subject. But should I find out more that is profound about Ahriman, I will definitely make another video. I think you can go very deep with him because he is one of the older spirits. And I find the older spirits are very, very interesting. The primal spirits. And they also have a better understanding of human life, human interactions. So I think that in a way makes it easier to deal with them. And they're more straightforward as opposed to like the younger spirits who have zero to little, experience with humanity from a cosmic standpoint. So I hope everybody is practicing. I hope everybody is enjoying spiritual evolution, spiritual growth. And I hope that, they are having fun on their journey. And I hope that they're having fun learning. And it's like, yeah, growth isn't going to be fun all the time. Sometimes it's going to be painful, but it's like pain for a reason. You know, growing pains, they indicate that you're getting somewhere, as opposed to just feeling pain just to feel pain. You know, being uncomfortable just to be uncomfortable. So, I mean, don't let anything stop you, you know, from becoming what you feel you should be. It's going to be uncomfortable, but when you actually get there, it's going to be worth it. All right? So, be easy, be cool, and I'll see you next video.